Hello everyone, is Professor Noor with chapter number 3 in your Microsoft Access. So chapter number 3, it mainly talks about how to maintain a database. So the first thing that comes to your mind is what that meaning of maintaining the database. So maintaining the database means modifying the data to keep it up to date by adding new records, changing the data for existing records, and to delete the records. Updating can include different kind of stuff. You can do on mass deletion, mass updates to your data in your table, right? So maintenance of a database can also be involve the need to restructure the database periodically. It's not that you create the database and that's it. No, sometimes you need to go back and those information that no longer needed in your database, then you have to delete it or you have to modify those existing record or you have to add a record, new record to your database, right? So we're gonna use the Bread Loss Associate database that we were using it for chapter number 1 and 2. So the same database I'm gonna use it, and then I will be adding those things in for chapter number 3. So I will share my screen with you guys, and then from there we're gonna start the lecture. I will open the Bread Loss Associate. So once you open the Bread Loss Associate database, you will get like in this side here, you will get like enable. So always like a yellow bar in here. So always you have to click on enable so that you can enable any changes you want to do to your database. Now, what you're going to learn in this chapter, the objectives. You will master the material in this unit but when you can add, change, delete records, search for records, filter the records, update the table design, use action queries to update the records, use delete queries to delete the records, specify validation rules, and then define the values and the formats that you want. And then also you will be able to master about how to create and use a single value lookup field. And then I will teach you how to create and use a multi-valued lookup field. And then I will teach you how to add a new field to an existing report. And then we're going to format the data sheet of the table and the relationship between the two tables. Relationship is very much important in Access. You have to relate both table A and B or C or D. And then you can extract the information from those tables. It's very easy to do that, right? And then I will teach you how to use the sub data sheet, and then finally will be sort the record. So the first thing in your chapter number 3 is to create a split form. So what is this split form is? A split form is a form that allow you to simultaneously view both simple form and the data sheet view of the data. So simultaneously you're gonna see the form, and below the form you're gonna be seeing the data sheet view of the table. So whatever you're gonna be entering using the form, simultaneously also you're gonna be seeing it that this record is gonna be added to your table, right? Now to create the split form, why do we need to create the split form? With a split form, you have the advantages of seeing a single record in a form while simultaneously viewing several records in a data sheet. Now, one problem with the form is that you can only see one record at the time. But with the table data sheet view, you can see multiple records simultaneously, right? So to create that, first I need you to select the table account. Be sure that the account, don't double click it, just select, click. Once you clicked it, I will go to create. Once I'm in the create, then I will go to the group that says forms, the group that says forms, and then you will see more forms. You will click the down black arrow in the right of more forms. And then you will look at the second last is split form. So click it. It might take a few seconds. Here you go. The split form is going to be visible on the screen. So you will see the form in the top, and in the bottom of the screen you will see the table. If you see here now, in the top is the form, and below that is your table. So if you want to stretch it up, you see the dots, the gray dots. You can move your cursor until it becomes black, arrow pointer, and then drag it up. Hold the left key and drag it up. So this is the record we have in the table, and this is the form, right? So if I go to say next record, if you look down, there is the navigation bar. I have 1 of 15, so if I click the play button for next record, it's gonna switch it to the next. You see now the good thing is that is also highlighting that record that I'm in. You see I'm in the second record and it says that's highlighted in light blue color. So if I go next, you see, as I'm moving, I can see the whole thing and I can see all the other records also simultaneously, right? Because in the form you can only see one record at a time. You see that I can see only one record at a time. But while I'm in a table data sheet view, then I can see as multiple records simultaneously. So this is the way how to create the form. Now, if you want to view the form, you see down here, it says view form. Look where my mouse is above the clock of my computer. So if you see, I will click these guys to view the form, or if you don't like to use from the status bar, you can click this view here below the file. So the form, as you know, has a 3 command or 3 tabs: design, arrange, and format. To my form, I will click this guy here, and I was in a layout view. I will click form view. So now this is the form view. In form view, you can go through the records one after the other, and also you can add a new record at the same time. Now, the next thing is that we need to save this file, this form. So what I will do, I will click the floppy disk in the top. I will be asked what you want to name it. So I will name this as account split form and click OK. Now you will see that in your navigation in all object window, all access object window, or your navigation panel in the left hand side, you will see that under the forms, the split form will be added in the list. Now if you will be asking me what is this coming from, these are the previous chapter that we did. If you remember chapter number 2, these are all the queries that we went through it, right? So that's why, because I'm using the same database, so I'm just adding those new things for the new chapter, right? Now the next thing your book says is that to use a form to add a record. to use a form, this form here that we created, to add a new record. At the same time, while you are adding this record, you will see that the record will be posted or will be added to the table too. Now to add that, you see I'm going down to your status bar, and it says above the status bar you see the navigation bar, and then I have a play button with an orange star. So that means I want to add a new record, new blank record. So click it. When I will click that, you have noticed that my cursor is blinking in the right of the account number. At the same time, if you look down in your table also, it highlighted. You see that? Because that's where you're gonna create the new record. So I'm gonna add the new record now. So the new record is SL, account number is SL326, and then I will tap it to go down. As you see down in your data sheet, in your table below, you see I have a pencil indicating that I'm doing some addition or I'm adding something. And then I will go with the next one is South Library Consortium. Then I will tap it, or you can use the mouse. 862 Maple Street. You can press the enter key. The city is Wells, and then is IN is the state. The zip code is 46007. Press the enter key. And 0 is the amount paid, and 0 is your, and then this one will be the account number 31. Okay, so this will be for account number, let's see, and then we have, so we're gonna put account number 31, the manager. So we add 31 there, right? So that's how to add a record. So now you get a blank now, a form to add your second record. So in this case, we don't want to add any record. So if you want to go back to your layout view, now you can click here. See where my mouse is? Above the clock of my computer. So that's the design layout view, and then that's the design view. So from these bottom icons, you can change the view of your form. If you don't like that, you can just use these icon below the under your ribbon. It says views, and then from the views you can click anywhere you want to go. Layout view, form view, and design view. Now we need to close the form, so you can hit the form close from the tab here, the X, and then once you close it, that the information that you just added is being saved. Now the next is to search for a record. In a database environment, searching means looking for a record that satisfies some criteria. You will specify which record you want to search, and then in a few seconds Access is gonna look for that information you asked for. So to do that, let's open the split form that we just created it. So once I'm in the form now, I'm in a form view. I'm gonna go to Find in your ribbon, and the second last group under the Home tab is Find. You will click the magnifying glass. Okay. And then you will say, find what? Want to find? You find a specific kind of record. Instead of going through all these, you can just go find what, and then you will write down the record you want to search. So in this case, I'm going to be searching LI68. And then after you type what you want to search, now here it says look in. Look in means in the current field. Suppose, now that's a very important. What if your cursor was under the current due and you want to search these guys? So what's going to happen is that when you say find, you are not going to get anything because it's going to be searching the current due. So to be in the safe hand, it doesn't matter wherever your cursor is located. I will go here and I will say look in the whole document for the record LI268. So I will hit find. There you go. When I hit find, you see that it highlighted in black, that specific account number. And if you look in the bottom of your screen where you have the data, the table data sheet view, it highlighted in light blue color. So that's the record that you asked for, right? So once we did that, then what we're gonna do, I will close the find and replace dialog box. Now from here, the next exercise is to update the content of a record, right? So to update the content of a record is, for example, now here, if you look, we want to add more information, like it says Lars dash Adson INC. So Fleming is missing from here. So that's how you update your record. You don't need to delete it, just you have to add whatever you want to update the record. So here I said Fleming, that was missing, so we added, and I can tap it. So now look down here in your table also, that new information that you just updated your table, your account name is already been updated. You see that here. Now, what I will do is that we're gonna save what we did. Now, your book says is that we need to learn how to delete a record. So to delete a record, obviously I will go to find. See the number second last group under the home tab is find. So click on find. Now here first I need to find the record, then I can delete it, right? So I will say the record I want to get rid of it is JM323. It could be that this manager or this account is no longer served by our Bread Loss Associate database, and it's the final payment has been received. So we need to get rid of it, okay? Because everything has been received and we want to just get rid of it. Everything is done. Now to do that, what we're gonna do is that we went to that record, see, JM323, and then I will say find next. Once I got the record, I will close my find or replace, and then I will highlight. You see what my cursor here? I will go here. I highlight it. See, I will repeat again. Once you get it like this, move your cursor to the row until you see the black arrow in the right, in the left of the JM323. Click it. Once you clicked it, and then you will hit delete either from your keyboard or you can press the delete record. You see where my mouse is going to under the records, and delete. It's gone. Are you sure you want to complete the deletion? So if you want, you will say yes. So I will hit, for example, I will hit yes. So I will hit yes to show you that the record is going to be deleted. Pay attention to here and here. So I will say that is gone. All right. Now that is the three things I show you so far. Split form, when you want to create a form and a table data sheet view on the same screen. The benefit of having a split is that I can see the form in the top, but I can see much of the record displayed in the bottom of the screen using the table data sheet view. Because the form can only show me one record at the time. I cannot see all the other people's information. Then the next one, I'll show you how to add a record. And then I'll show you how to search for any specific record using the find. And then also I show you how to delete a record from your database. Now the next one is filtering the record. Now filter is like search, okay? So now the thing is that I will specify a criterion, and then to satisfy that criterion to display what you ask for, right? So if I say I want to filter all those records who have the state Maryland, so then everything will display under Maryland because you filtered the state by Maryland, right? So filters in Access, we have four kinds or four types of filters are available for us. It depends what you want to do. And every filter has an advantages and disadvantages. The first filter that I have is filter by selection. Filter by selection means that you're gonna be telling Access, this is what I want. You will give me like a sample of what you want to search, and Access will do the rest. Then I have common filter, which I'm gonna show you what the common filter is. And then I have filter by form. Filter by form means that you want multiple things that you want to search using a form. And then I have advanced filter select. That one is like you're gonna go back to the query, and then you will create a separate query for you to filter those specific record, right? So I have four kinds of filters in Access: filter by selection, common filters, filter by form, and advanced filter and sort. So now I will close the form, the split form, and we're gonna open the account table. So double click the account table. So you see the account table is on the screen. Now what I will do is I will use filter by selection. To use filter by selection, you give Access an example of the data you want by selecting the data within the table. I will repeat again. To use filter by selection, you give Access an example of the data that you want by selecting the data within the table. So it means you have to give me the type, what type you want, so Access can filter for you. So once you indicate that, then Access will do the rest. It's gonna filter those records. Now, to do that, I will go to, let's say I wanna search the city Granger, right? So I will move my cursor and I will indicate to Access the data that I want to filter. So I said this is the Granger, right? So once I selected it, and then the next thing what I will do is that I will be going to, you see where it says sort and filter, number 3 group under the ribbon. It says sort and filter, and you see here it says selection. So you will click the selection, and then you will have to check what you want. Equal Granger, does not equal Granger, contain Granger, or does not contain. So let's say I will choose contains Granger. Here you go, and you see that the Granger has been filtered, and then in the right of the column city you will see like an icon, the toggle filter icon. That means that these been filtered according to what you asked for. Your criterion was Granger city, and then you have mentioned the type of the city you wanna filter, and then you went to sort and filter, you clicked on selection and then you choose what you want to search. Now, how can I remove the filter? After I got this, you can go to file and you can print out and then give it to your boss. Now the question here is that once I am done with this, how can I get it back to what it was? You see under the sort and filter, I have the toggle filter. Now the toggle filter will be gray like the way you see it on my screen. So that means that the filter is being applied. Now when I want to remove the filter, I can use the toggle from here to remove it. Or if you look down on the screen, it says filtered. If you click the filtered icon under the navigation bar, that will remove the record filtered. So I will click from the ribbon. I will click the toggle filter. Here you go. Now let's try one more. I will go back and then I will say, okay, you know what? I want to search the account manager 31. So I move my cursor there. I went to selection. And then here it says equal 31, does not equal to 31, contain 31, or does not contain. So which one you want to do? So I will say does not equal 31. So filter all the record but not 31. There you go. You see I don't see any 31. Now I want to get rid of it. I will remove it with the toggle filter. There you go. So that kind of filter is called what? Filter by selection. You have to select and then you have to hit selection and then you have to choose the option you want. Now let me do with a field that is a number, like if you have a currency field like account, amount paid, current due, how you gonna see the selection one. Let's say I will go to 0. You see the 0 one here? So amount paid 0. I will go to the selection. Now the selection will be different. It says equals 0, does not equal 0, less than equals 0, or greater than equals 0, or between what. So I will say equals 0. These are the two records that's equal amount paid 0. And then I will remove the filter. So that's how we use the filter by selection. Now the next one I'm gonna share with you is the next one also we're gonna do is this, to use the common filter. Now if you have determined you want to include those accounts whose city begin with a G, filter by selection will not be the appropriate. Now for example, you said Gerenga, right? And then only you filter Gerenga. But what if you want to filter all those cities that start with a B or start with a W, okay, or start with an A? I want to get all those cities that start with an A. So filter by selection will not be an ideal to use it here. Why? Because the filter by selection can filter only one specific kind of record, right? But the problem now I have here, that what if I said that the city begin with all the city that start with a G? Can I get all the record of those cities that start with a G? I cannot do that with filter by selection. Now see how we're gonna do that. You see this the cities here, and then I will click these here. You see the down arrow in the right of the column city, and then I will say filter text, and then I will say begin with G, and I don't know what is after G, and I will click OK. You see, you get Gerenga, you get Gleneagles, and Gerenga, and so on. So that's the best of using what? Common filter. Okay. So None of the option within the filter buzzer will support this type of criterion because you said I want to find those city that starts with a G. So the filter by selection will not support any type of criterion regarding what you ask for. So then you will need to use a common filter, right? So if you want to get rid of the common filter, I will click here. Now, if you go back here, the city and then down arrow, and then you can say clear filter from the city. So if you want to get rid of the filter, you can say clear filter from city. So here I will go here and I will say ends with, okay, ends with. So ends with R. The city ends with R, but I don't know what's the beginning, but it ends with an R. I will click OK. See, Granger, Walker, Granger, because it ends with an R. So I can go back here and I can say clear the filter from the city. See? Or I can just hit the toggle filter from the sort and filter group. Now let's do what if you wanna do common filter with a field that is a currency. So I will go here. Now you see here it changed from text filter to a number filter because this column is a number. So then you will type here greater than 40,000. Now I will run this, my filter. This is the one which is greater than 40,000. And then I can go to file and print, and then I will give it to my boss. Now I will remove my filter. I can hit the toggle or I can just go here and then I can say clear the filter from the amount paid. Now the next one I have for you is to use filter by form. Filter by selection and common filter method you just used are quick and easy way to filter by the value in a single field, right? Remember we have just selected the city, so you can do that by using a single field. For filter that involve multiple field, multiple columns, however, these methods are not appropriate. So if you want to check multiple field or multiple columns, you want to filter by multiple column, multiple field, then the common filter or the filter by selection is not an ideal command to use. Then we're gonna be using filter by form. Why? Filter by form allows you to filter based on multiple field and criteria, right? So see how we're gonna do that. I will go to the sort and filter. I will click on advanced, and you see when I clicked it, the advanced, which is below the selection command, and then the second option is filter in the shortcut menu. I have filter by form, so you will click it. Once you click the filter by form, now in this case I will go here and I will say the amount paid that I'm searching is greater 2000. See, at the same time I'm saying that I want to find, or you can click the drop down, and I want to find 35. So two things you are checking. You are searching you are filtering the records by using multiple columns, multiple field, right? The other ones that we did, common filter and filter by selection, you just choose one specific single value column and then from there you do your search, your filter. But this one now you can add as many you want. So here in this case I'm using two multiple field, current due less than 2000 and the account manager 35. So now I will hit the toggle filter now. See, the toggle filter now is to apply the filter for the filter by form. So I will click it. Here we go. I got two records that specify your condition. So these are the two which you want. You said the current due should be less than 2000 and the account manager 35. And then you will go to file, you will hit print, and then you will hit print from here to print. Quick print will send to the printer, and then if you want to print preview it, and then you can see it, and then you can change it to landscape so that you can see everything. And then from there, once you print it, from below the file you see print, you will hit print. This will be given to your boss, and then I will close it now. So I am back to my filter data sheet view. Now first I want to get rid of this, so you have to hit the toggle again to remove the filter. Okay. Now the next one we have is what we call advanced filter and sort. So advanced filter is in some cases your criteria will be too complex, even for filter by form is gonna be hard to use. So you might decide you want to include any account whose current due amounts are greater than 3000 and whose account manager number is 58. Additionally, you might want to include any account whose current due amount is 0. So now you are doing it complex now. It's becoming more complex now. So to do that, then we need to use advanced filter / sort to accomplish this task. Now, why we need this? Because the advanced filter sort support complex criteria as well as the ability to sort the results. Up till now, what I did, I can't sort it, right? Now, the advanced filter and sort is gonna filter the record. At the same time, also you can ask for sorting if you wanna sort the record alphabetically from A to Z or Z to B to A. Now, to do that, we're gonna go to advanced. Okay. Click on go to the group that says sort and filter, then click advanced. Then you will see number 3 in line is apply filter sort. So what I will do first, I will clear if I have something or if I can just use apply filter and sort. So I will click it. And once we click this, and then I will go back. This was the last one, so let me clean it. Clear all filters. Now I will go here, and then this is the one. Sorry, it was number 4 in line. Advanced filter and sort. So you will click it. It's gonna open your query. This is the guide that you did in the chapter number 1. So that's the query. And then you can add what you wanna search. So filter by account name. And then the account manager. Because what I did was I clean it, remember? I cleared the previous filter. If I did not, then obviously it's gonna be visible in here because I cleaned it. That's why it disappeared. So once I click this, now see the good thing with the advanced filter is that I can sort by the account name. So I said, give me ascending. And then at the same time, under the criteria, you know that in the queries, whenever you want to specify any criteria, it has to be underneath the column, but it has to be below in the row that says criteria. So the account manager number will be 58, and at the same time, I want to get the one who are greater 3000. Also show me the current due who have 02. See, now I'm checking 3 things, and at the same time I'm also sorting it. So you cannot do that with the 3 guys that we did previously, but now we are doing it with the advanced filter and sort. Now, once you did that, you will hit the toggle so you can run the filter to apply the filter. Here you go. So here you ask for 0, amount paid is here. The current due is 0. And that one, 31. 31 has 0. And then these are the greater 3000. All right. And then if you want, you can hit the file save like this. And then it's gonna save this guy. Okay. Now, the next thing I wanna do is this is the filters. So we had 4 kinds of filter: filter by selection, common filter, filter by form, and then advanced filter / sort. Right now, the next one we have is to changing the database structure. The next thing is to do what? Changing the database structure. When you initially create a database, you define a structure, right? That is you assign names and types to all the fields. In many cases, the structure you first define will not continue to be appropriate as you use the database. So you might say, oh, you know what, I want to add more, or I want to delete the existing one, or maybe I want to change the columns names that I have previously, and I want to like edit it, or I misspelled it. So now we're going to be working with changing the database structure. So the first thing in your book they said is that how you're going to be adding a new field. It's not the end of the world that if you create a table, you cannot add a new field. So we will add a new field. So first of all, we need to go to the design view of the table that you want to add the new column or the new field. So you will do a right click, and then you will see the option that says design view. So we are in the design view of the account table. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna add a new row. So I will select the amount paid, and then I will say insert a row. So we add a new row, insert a row. You see under the tools, you have insert row. Okay. So what I did was I moved my cursor and I selected amount paid because I want to put the new column in between the postal code and the amount paid. So I selected the amount paid and I went to insert rows. Here you go. And then this one, I will say account type. Now account type, now you have to define what will be the data type. What kind of data will the account type will have? Now I will be teaching you a new data type today. The new data type is known as lookup field. A lookup field allows the user to select from a list of values when updating the contents of the field. So the thing for the lookup field is that, let's say you have a field that says gender. Why you want to allow the user to type male, female? I will give them like a choice box to choose from. They don't need to type it, just choose from the choose box, right? What if you have something says education, and then in the education the options are high school diploma, bachelor's, master's, and PhD. So you need to tell us which one you have, right? So that is what, whenever you want to do something like a choice box, you have to use the lookup field. So now I'm going to the lookup to show you how to do it. You see here it says short text. I will click the down arrow for the data type, and the last option, the last group under the shortcut is lookup wizard. So you will click it. Now here it says what you want to do. You will choose the second option. I will type in the values that I want. Click next. Now here you have to provide what are the options you wanna put there. So my option according to your book is SER. Don't press the enter key, is gonna take you to the next. So be sure that don't press the until you finish your options. So here SER, then we have NON, and then the third option is IND. As we put that, then I will hit next. Then here I will leave it. What label will you like for your lookup field? So I will leave it as account type. I don't want to change it. And then these are two options in here. Allow multiple value. Allow multiple value. I'm not gonna choose that option. Why? Because the allow multiple values means that when you wanna choose multiple options, like suppose your education, you will say I do have bachelor, I will take bachelor, I will check masters, I will check PhD, right? So three things I have done: bachelor, masters, and PhD. Then for those kind of stuff, then I will use the option that says allow multiple value. But for only a single, like male, female, I will just leave it as it is. Don't choose any of these options, right? So after that, guys, I will hit finish. So that one is done, right? Now what I will do is that I will go to add another one where I will show you where you can allow multiple values. Remember the account tab I created with the lookup wizard, I can only choose SER, NON, or IND. That's it, either one of the three. But what if you want to choose multiple options? So what we're gonna do is that I want you to move your cursor in the right of the amount paid, you see, and then we're gonna insert a new row, and then we're gonna type service needed, and then I will click enter. Then I will go to the data type, and I will click the down arrow, and then I will choose lookup wizard. Then I will say I will type in the value that I want. Next. Then here I will specify what I want. So I will go here, and then I will type the values. So now the problem with this is that if you want to say BCK, so I don't know what is this BCK means, right? You know, but the other people, they don't know who gonna be using your database. Either you can do like this, look, you can move your cursor here, and then you can say what is this, like background background check, like this. You can stretch the column. See, I can do like this, or I can add another column, and then I will put my abbreviation in the. So it's up to you what you want. So if you want another column, so I will say 2, and then click here, and then I will take out what I said here, and I will put it here, because that tells me what the BCK means. So the BCK means background check. So just to show you, okay. And then the next one, the book says BEN, bin, and I will tap it, and the bin means benefits administration. Administration. Then I will go to my next column. I don't know what is the means here. So that's compliance. And then if you want to say what that compliance is, regularity. The next, I will say MGT. Then I will say is HR management. I will go down here and I will say payment, pay, what that means, payroll. I will go down and then I will say REC. The RC is recruiting, RFK is risk management. Then I will go down and then is TCH, HR technology. That's what the abbreviation for TCH is. Then I will say TRN, and then that is training, and then I will say WRK. That one is workman's compensation. So once I did this, then I will hit next. Now the first column is what you need to choose. The second one is just the one that we add what that means for every category, right? So the first one, then hit next. I will leave it as service needed and be sure that you choose these now. Allow multiple values and then I will hit finish. So that one is done. Now the next one I'm gonna do is I will add a calculated field to calculate the amount paid on the current due and give us the result of that. So what I will do is that I will go to your account manager number. I will select that because I want to add a new field which is going to be in between the current due and the amount manager. So to do that, I selected the account manager number, then I will go to the tools group and I will click on insert rows. I will click on it. And then here I will say total amount. Now I'm gonna teach you another data type today. The first one I taught you was the lookup wizard. Now I'm gonna teach you what if you wanna calculate any field in your table. Like in this case, we wanna add up the amount paid and the current due to tell us what the total amount is. So here I will go here in my data type and I will choose calculate, the second last, calculated. Last data type is calculated. So you will, and then you hit the calculated. Now what you need is that you see here already I'm in the account table, right? So what I will do is that I will double click the field that is involved. In this case, I will go in the middle box that has the field for the table account. The first box it tells you expression element is means the account table, then the function, whatever function you need, and then we have constants, and then we have some operators here. So for this case, we don't want to mess up with any of this. It's already like the table is account, and these are all the available fields. So you will double click the amount paid, double click. As you double clicked it, you see access add that, and then you will hit plus, you will type, or you will, in your keyboard, you will click the plus sign, and then you will double click the current due. So to get the total amount, it means that you want the amount paid to be added by the current due. So once we did that, I will click OK, and that is done. All right. So now I will close the table. I will save the changes. Now I will double click the table to show you what we have done so far. To double click it, I will double click to stretch it. All right. So the first thing that I will show you here is, see, the total amount is already been added. So amount paid plus the current due, the total is 28,627. So that's the benefit of having a calculated data type. It is going to calculate whatever columns you want to add, multiply, divide, whatever you want to do. Now, the other good thing regarding your account type, you see the account type here? I have the drop down with the option what I need. SER, click here. I need NON, or I need IND. See? Now the next one is about service needed, right? For the service needed, obviously, for the service needed, we need to modify, we need to add what the options are. Okay. So for example, for the first account is AC001, right? So I will click here, see, because of being what? Multi-value, so I can choose. See, I get the choice box now. The previous one, the account type was only either you have to choose IND, SER, or NON, right? But this now, when you have choose the allow multiple value, that's what that means. So for the first one, the options now, the services they need is BCK, bin, COM, and they want the risk one. And then I will click OK. So you're gonna get all these options. See, now because of being allow multiple value, because I can choose multiple values. For the second one, they want BCK, MG. So you have to choose whatever their services request is. So this, and then this. And I will go back here. For the third one is MGT, pay, R, SK, and C. Not this one, this one. Then. So I will stretch it so you can see. Then here, I will go to bin, pay, RFK, TRN, and WRK. Okay. You will go here. It's allowing me to choose multiple values. RC, T, and then WRK. Then the next one I have bin, COM, pay, RFK, TCH, and TRN. Then I will go here, and then I will choose bin, COM, management, R, and then RWK. Then the next one I will say, I will click the drop down, and then I will choose bin, COM. This one is listed in the book, page number 151. So I'm adding it. Yeah. Then the next one I have bin, management, pay, RSK, TCH, and WRK. Then we have that services is bin, payroll, and WRK. Now I'm moving here. BCK, bin, com, pay, TCH, and TRN. Then this next one we have a BCK, pay, and WRK. Then we have BCK, bin, com, pay, TCH, and TRN. And then we have bin, com, pay, TRN, and WRK. And the last one is BCK, pay, REC, and WRK. So we're done with all the service name for each of the accounts. All right. Now the question is how we gonna be modifying the record summary. Like suppose here now the account type, right? So in the account type, what if you wanna update all the account manager to have the account type SER? If the account type is SER, instead of going here and say SER, then I will go here and say SER. What if you have 1,000, 2,000 record? That's not a good way to do it. So we're gonna do mass changes. In some cases, rather than making individual changes to the record, you will want to make a mass changes. That is, you will want to add, change, or delete many records in a single operation. You can do this with the action queries. We're gonna use the action queries. Unlike the select queries that you created in chapter number 2, which simply presented the data in a specific way, an action query is gonna help us to add, delete, or change the data in a table. So the update query allow you to make the changes, to make the same changes to all records satisfying some criterion. If you omit the creation, the criterion, you will make the same changes to all the record in a table. So if you did not specify which one, then it means that you want the whole account type to change to SER, unless that you said which one, which account manager. Is it 31 that you want to change to account type SER, or which one, right? So let me show you how to use the update query. So what we're gonna do, I will close the table, save the changes. Now we're gonna go to create, right? Then we're gonna go to query design, and then we're gonna add the table account, double click it, then close the show table dialog box. I will stretch it, my table, and then I will move the grid a little bit up. Now I will choose the account type, double click the account type. Now when you have the account type like this, then you see here I have a query type, right? In the query type, then you see I have something says update. So you will hit the update. Once you click the update, what's gonna happen now? Access will add a new row below the table row in your grid that says update to, right? Now update to means that will have the new value that you want to update to what? I want the account type to have SER, right? But the thing is now I did not specify any criteria, means I did not put, okay, like I can say account manager 31 should have SER, right? So first let me show you this. I said account type and then update all the account type to SER without putting any specific condition. I did not use any criterion in here. So if you did not use any criterion, that indicate that you want the account type value to change to SER simultaneously. So now once you did that, now there's a little bit different now for the update query. Once you have updated, you want to update to SER, now you have to run the query. Once you hit run, you will get this dialog box that says you are about to update 15 rows. So once you click yes, then you cannot undo what you did. You cannot reverse the changes, right? So Access is confirming from you that if you want to do that. So because I want to update all the 15 record account tab to change to SER, then I will say yes. Once you did yes, now I will open the table to see, because that's the way how I will see that everything is been updated. So you will have to double click the account table and then look here, my lovely people, look, all the account tab changed to SER, right? Because I did not specify any condition. Now, I will close my table. My query is already here. So now what I will do, I will go to the account manager here. Okay. And then here in the criteria, I will say, give it to the one that is 31, the account manager 31. And I want to change those 31 to IND, for example, the other type, account type. So now I will run my query. So I will go back to the design. In the tab you see design, run the query, run your updated query. It's gonna say that there are 5 rows that they're gonna be updated to IND. Do you want to do that? Only those account managers will change who have what? 31, not the rest. So I will say yes. Now let's double click, let's open the account table to see the changes. Now look, my lovely people, the first one it changed to IM because the account manager is 31. Then look for the other 31, look here, IND 31. Then I have another 31 here. It should have the account type IND, you see. So that's the good thing of using the update query. Okay, now I will close this, and then if you want to delete, so you can use the delete query here too. So if I will click it and it says delete, what type of record you want to delete. So I will say where. So I have a bunch of from where. So leave it as where. Which criteria? Where SCR, for example. I want to delete SCR. And then I don't want this one. I will just delete this. So I said delete where the account type is SCR. So I will run the query. It said that 10 record will be deleted. I will say yes. Now open the account table again. You see, 10 of them is gone, right? So 10 of the record has been what? Deleted. So delete means it's gonna delete all those 10 records, right? So what I will do, I will use the tab because I deleted the records to show you. So what I will do, I will go back, I will close this, and then I will, if you want, you can change this to the update. So here, and update to whatever you want. Okay, and then I will close this. I will close it, save the changes, and then this will be updated query. Now the updated query will look like this. Okay, so whenever you want to update, you will double click it and you will update. So what I will do is I will need the table. So let's see if I can import the table, because remember I delete some of the account. So let's say I will go to import external data. I will import from a database. I will browse it. It should be the bread associate. I will say, okay, I wanna bring up the account table. Okay. And then I will close it. Now the table, I imported the account, see? So this one has only this information. So I will copy this and I will open this and I will see if I can paste. So I cannot do that, so I need to do, so that's okay. What I will do is that now I will get rid of this table. Okay. So the problem with this will be is that I will have to create those things again. So what I will do, I will keep on moving with this, what the record I have. Okay. And then I will change it later on. So I will go here. I will close this table. I will close this. Now I will go to the design. Now the next one is to use a validation rules. Validation rules. Validation rules is used when you want to ensure that the entry of a valid data has to be typed in that specific field, right? So if your account type is only SER, NON, and IND, I don't want somebody else to type something else, right? So I will create my validation rules. So, and then also I will change the field size so that I will not allow somebody to type more than 255. I will limit it, right? And then the other thing that you have to notice that when I double click the account table, I can leave the account name as empty, okay? But the account number you have to type it. For example, let's say I will type something like A B B C 001, for example, and then I will go here. I left it blank, see, and then I will type this information quickly. Okay. Right. So it allowed me to leave the account name as what? Empty. But if you make this to be required, that means then you cannot leave this column as blank, the account name, which I'm going to show you later on. So let's go to the design view. So the first thing is you see the account name, and what I will do with the account name, I will make this to be what? Required. So the user cannot leave it empty. Like I show you, I left it early empty and it allowed me to go to the. So you see here in the field properties, it says required. You will go here and then you will say yes. Required, yes. Right? And then the next one we need is that if you look at the street, and then you can change it from 20 to 25. See, I'm limiting it to 25 now. Right now, the next thing I want to do is that I want to write down my specifying. I want to specify the range, my validation rules. Right, so you will go to the current view. In the current view, you look here, it says validation rule in your properties. Sorry, you will click on current view, look in the field properties, and you will find where it says validation rule. In your validation rule, you will say greater equal 0 space and less than equal 10,000. So what you are taking for the current due, that it should be greater or equal 0, but it has to be less than what? $10,000. Now if I did mistake, how I will know what I did wrong? So this is your validation text. So you have to write like a message. That message will pop on the screen. So the message is gonna say must be at least dollars. I'm typing it, okay? So dollars 0.00 and at most dollar 10,000. Right? So now let's close this and let's show you. And then one more thing I will do is to specify if you want everything to be typed in capital letter. Now for the account number, remember, now I need to press the shift key to type the beginning 2 or 3 letters in capital, right? So now with this command you will not need, whether your cap log is off or on, automatic it's gonna be capitalized. So click on the account number and go to the field size. Below the field size is a format, right? So click on this format here and then give it a greater sign. Greater sign means you want it to be in uppercase. And then if you put less than sign, that means you want it to be in lowercase. Okay. Now, the next thing we need is that by default, I want the account type to always say SER. That's the default. Like always, I want the state to be Maryland by default, right? And then if somebody is not from Maryland, then they have to change it. So in this case, it says account type. I will go to the default value under the field properties again. You will go to the default value and you will type my default value is SER. So every time when you're gonna be entering a new record in your table, is gonna show you SER, right? So to do that, so you have to go to the field properties in the bottom of the screen, and then you have to find default value and SER. Now let's go back to the account type, and I will do the account type validation rules. What are the validation rules? I will always the account type should be, you will say equal SER space or equal NON space or equal IND, because these are the three options you want the people to type under the account type, not other than that. So, and then what message I should get if I did mistake. So that will be your validation text. Must be SER, comma, NON, comma, or IND. All right. So once we did this, now let me show you what we have done. So we will run this to show you. Okay. So I will close, save the changes. You will get that integrity will be losses. Just say yes. Now open the account table. So once you hit the account table now, I'm about to add, for example, a new one. So I'm gonna show the required, right? So I'm gonna type, and also I'm gonna show you how typing is gonna change to a capital. So my cap lock is off. So see, I'm typing in small letters, BC 001. The moment I will press the enter key is gonna capitalize because of the greater sign you have indicated under the format, you see. Now I will leave the account name. Remember you said the account name is required. You choose the required yes. I will leave it empty and see, I will just copy these things, or I will just, let's say, I'm showing you now, I'm leaving it empty. Now I want to add my next record. See what it says. You must enter a value in the account table account name field. You cannot leave it blank. Okay. I will go here and I will say Baltimore City Community, 25 letters. Now when I'm here, when I press the enter key, see, it's gonna allow me to go down. Now the default value, see, the account type is always gonna have SER, right? So by default, every time that you're gonna be adding a new record, the default value or account type will be what? SER, right? So I will go here, and for example, let's say I want to do a mistake, like I will say JJJ. The account type is JJJ. When I press the enter key to go to the next cell, is now gonna say that must be SER NON or IND. Without that, you cannot proceed. So I will say, okay, I will go here and I will change it. See? Now for the current due, sorry, the amount paid. So let's say you see he's 00 here. Let me put 20,000. Let's easy the, let me go to design. Which one we applied the validation rule? The current due. So let's go back. Now you see the current due is 0 here. I will put 20,000. I will push the enter key. It says must be at least 0 and at most 10,000. So that's the validation rules. That's how you're gonna be making the user to type what you ask for. I don't want anybody to just type whatever he or she wants. So this helps us to maintain our database. See, so here I will change this to 0, and then you said greater than 0 but less than 10,000, right? Now the next one is, according to your book, they said you have to make changes. Okay, now if you want to make any changes, you will just double click it. Suppose I don't want this record here, the BCC one. I will select and I will delete. Then if you want to do any changes, for example, you will just double click the address you want to change and then just move your cursor inside and then you can modify, right? So now the next thing I need to do is that we want to create a form so that is gonna have all the changes that we did, right? So to do that, I will close. Remember, I have deleted it 10 records. So 10 record is missing now. So later on, I will pull up those records. You see, if you look at account 1, I have all these other records. You see that? So mistakenly, like when I was showing you how to delete the records, so all 10 records were deleted, right? So now what I will do is I will just use the one we already have it here and we can just use it, right? Now I will close the table account to create the form that has the changes that you did. I selected account. I will go to create and then you see the first option here under the forms. Click it and here you go, and then you will hit view, and then I have my drop down here, see, and then I have also the three new field that I added. See, I can also use the form and then I can choose the options I want, and then here is the total. So it's working well. I can go here and I can change whatever I want, and then this one service, if I want to change the address or the account name, I can just go here and click whatever I want to change. Now the next thing I want to do is that we have created a report, if you remember. So I will close this, save the changes, and this will be account form. And then I will click OK. Save the changes. I will say account 1. Now the problem is that how you gonna be adding those 3 things that you did, or how you gonna update the report to reflect changes in the table. So your book says, can we open the report, account financial report, this here, and then how we're gonna add those new field that we add. I don't want to destroy my report, just I want to add them, right? So to do that, I will go to the design view, and then in the design view you see here in your ribbon I have something that says add existing field. You will click it, and then what you need to do is, you see here the account type, you will select and then you will drag it until you see the pink vertical line, and then you need to drop it wherever you want the new column to be added. So I want the new column to be in between the street and the account name. So you see the pink vertical line. So release your finger here. So the account is added. Now I want to add amount paid. Amount paid. So I will select the amount paid and I will drag it in between the account manager and the current due. The total has been added. You see that? Now I will view my report. There you go. The new has been added, you see. Now, if you want to go back to the layout view of the report and you want to add service needed. Now the problem with the service needed, because it has multiple values, first you need to collapse it, hit the negative from the left side like this, hit the negative to collapse it. Now you have to drag it. So if you want that to be somewhere here, see, we put the service needed, run, view your report. There you go. So I have the new field that I added today. So it's not the end that you need to delete and then you have to start from scratch. No need for that. You can use what you have, right? Now I will close my report and I will say yes. So the report has been updated. Now the next is changing the appearance of a data sheet. Okay. The following step first is going to include an extra row called total row in the data sheet for the account manager table. So what's going to happen, I will add a new row in my data sheet view where it's going to say total row. It's going to have the total row, and then from there I can add whatever I want, right? So we're going to open the account manager table. That's the account manager table, right? And then we're gonna go to the home, and then you see here under the records I have the total command. So you will click it and you see the total row has been added, and then the salary here, I will go here and I will say give me the sum of all the salaries. So here I got the salaries of all these, you see, is $150,000. And if you want to get this also, the average, for example, the average is 0.11. Now, what if you want to get rid of it? You said, I don't want it anymore. Go back to the records group under the ribbon, under the home tab, and then click the total again. See, the total is in gray background. So in a gray color. So hit it again, and that will take care of that. Now the next thing that your book says is that how you're gonna change the grid lines in a data sheet. So to change the grid line, you see under the text formatting, you will go here, and then you can say just I want the horizontal grid lines. See, horizontal. If you go back here and you say, I want the vertical, but I don't want the horizontal. See, vertically you can see, but not the horizontal. And then if you go here and you said none of them is there, the grid lines. And if you said, I want both, you see both of them. The next one is to change the colors and the font in a data sheet. So to do that, you see here, I have alternative colors. Okay, you will click here and then you can give any color you like. For example, I will say give me this color. You see, alternatively the rows will be this color, and then you can boldface. Look, you can increase the size of your record in the table, and then you can go to the right of the column. You can stretch it if something is cutting off. See, now the next thing that if you wanna update the formatting dialog box. You said I need some more option here. So you see this icon here, it said datasheet formatting. You will click it, and then from here the cell effect by default is flat, so you can rise it if you want to. It's gonna look like this. Sunken is gonna look like what you see. So if you say rising, and then what color you want. So if you want the grid line to be red, see, red, and then if you want to change the alternative color, yes, you can do so. And if you want to change the background color of your data sheet, yes, you can change it. So see, it's changed to gray, the line. So you can go back here, and then you see it was rising. So I will say flat, and then I will click OK. So that's the flat, right? Now the next one is, what if you wanna ask question, like you wanna use a query that where you wanna get those who have multiple options. Like, let me close this manager table, save the changes, and then if I go to my account, and then these guys, like what if you have service needed and they have a lot of options, how you gonna pull up those who have more options, you see? So with the help of the queries now, we're gonna include multi-values on one row of a query. To do that, I will go to create, and then I will go to query design. I will double click on account, and I will close it. Now from here, we're gonna choose account number, account name, and then I will choose account type, and then I'm gonna choose service name. So you have to collapse it. Then double click the service needed. Once you add it, now if you run that, you're gonna see all the information like this. So I will go back here, and I will go to design view, and then what I will do is that if you wanna just get, now it says service needed, right? So when I run it, I got everything, like the account, Annabelle Community Bank has all these service needed. But if you wanna get that individually, for example, you will go back. I will delete this to show you. I will go back here, and I will say service needed value. So you will double click the service needed value. Now you will run it. Okay, now all the first account, because it has all these options, so they will be individualized. Look, okay, see it? So you can only get now the services needed value, all right? Because they had multiple options, multiple values. So I will close it. If you want, you can save it. I will save it as query. Now the last thing for this chapter number 3 is about referential integrity. The referential integrity is used when you have two related tables in a database. It is essential that the data in the common field matches. Now we want to create a relationship between the two tables, right? Now the thing is that account and the information has to be one field has to be in both tables so that you can create the connection, right? Now one of your table will be the master table, and the second table will be your detailed table. Now in this case, the account manager is your master table. Why is master? Because you have to enter the account manager only one time, and then you have to enter the last name, first name, street, city, postal code, starting date. You have to enter them only one time, right? You don't need to enter them multiple times. Only one time is enough. But the detail table, which is the account in this case, this will have all the information of uh, of the accounts that the account manager is handling, right? So what I will do now, because remember I deleted it 10 records. So what I will do, I will change this here to match the account managers that we have. So we have 58, and also I will change, then later on I will modify the table again. So what I will do quickly, I will change it to, give me a few seconds to see the values that we were supposed to have. So we had 31, 58, and I will do 35. One of it I will put it 35. Okay. And then I will put 42, 42. That's okay. So I put this, right? So now I will close this and I will save the changes. Now to create the relationship, we will go to database tools. You will click on relationship, and then you will add the account manager, which is your master table, and then you will double click the account table and close it. So once we closed it, you see both the table are here. Now in both table there should be one common field that will create the relationship. So the account manager, I see I have account manager number, and then in the account table I have account manager number, right? So that is perfect. Now I can create the relationship. Now remember, it has to be of the same kind. Account manager number, account manager, the spelling, everything has to be of the same. The data type has to be of the same. The size has to be of the same. Now you have noticed that the account manager, which is our master table, has a primary key in the left of the account manager. That indicates that, always remember, your master table, this key will be your primary key. And then this one here is gonna be your foreign key. So what is a foreign key? A foreign key is a field in one table whose values are required to match the primary key of another table. So the thing is that this guy here, the foreign key, will always look for any value that's already been added in the account mesh. So in a sense, whenever you're gonna be adding a new record in your database, in your tables, the first time you're gonna add that in the account manager, first you have to add who is the account manager, his name, his last name, the starting date of his job, and so on. Then you will add all the information, all the records about that new account manager in the account table, right? So you cannot just click the account table and then you start adding the new record. It's not gonna do that. Why? Because the foreign key is a field, this foreign key here, is a key in one table whose values are required to match the primary key of the other table, guys, right? So how to create the relationship now? So you see this guy here with the key, you will move your cursor over it, hold the left key of your mouse and drag it over the other guy, that is account manager number in the account table, not somewhere else, over the same field, account manager number. Once you did that, you will get the edit relationship dialog box, and then you need to be sure that both match here. Account manager has account manager, account manager. So this is good. Then here Enforce referential integrity. You have to choose this box. Once you choose this box, you will see two more boxes will be available. The first one says cascade the update related field. What that means is that if I have an account manager 1 and he have 200 accounts in the other table, if I want to change from 1 to 2, I want to give him now the account manager number, let's say 250. So all his 200 record in the other table will automatically update it from this table. You don't need to go to the detail table and change it to 250 because now I changed the account manager number. No need for that. Just open the account manager and then from there change it to 250 and all the associated record will be updated. Now, if you want to delete no more the account manager is with your organization and you want to delete his or her information, what you're going to do, you will open the account manager, you will select that row, and then you will delete it. Every information related to that account manager will be deleted. You don't need to open the detail table, in this case the account, and then delete all the information related to SNUR. You don't need that. If you want to delete SNUR's information from your table, you will open the account manager because that's your master table. From the master, you will hit delete, and then everything associated with it will be gone. So that's what that indicates. So you need to choose all the three boxes. Now the relationship always should be one to many. One means always the master table, you have to enter only one information for every new account managers. But those new account manager, they will have many accounts. If you are a manager, you are dealing with different accounts. So obviously the accounts will be 50, 60, 70, 100 accounts you are dealing with, right? So it's going to be one to many. So you will have many records added to the account, but in the account manager, you will have only one. So once we did that, I will click create, and here we go. So the relationship is being created. One to many, one to infinity. It means that you can have many records you can enter in the account table, but the account manager, if you put account manager 1, that's it. You cannot add account manager 1 for another account manager. No. So only one time you have to put my last name, my first name, my age, my gender, my street, my city, my postal, my salary, my start date. Because if you put the salary column in the account table, then every time I put my my customer's account information, then it is gonna ask me to put my salary too. So it never makes sense to put your salary or the start date in the detail tab, because every time you're adding a new account for that specific manager, then obviously if you put mistakenly you put the start date there, then every account you will be asked to have the start date of that account manager, right? So the relationship is going to be one to many. So once your relationship is created, you will close it from here and save the changes. Now the first thing is that we need to double click. We have to double click the master table. In this case is your account manager. So once you double clicked it, now did you notice that in my account manager table I have the plus sign? The plus sign indicate the sub, okay? The sub data sheet. What is a sub data sheet? A sub data sheet is useful when you want to review or edit the data in a join or related table. So in this case, now in one screen, I can add information in my master table. At the same time, I can also add the information in my detail table. You see, I click the plus sign, I open that, and then I can add any a new accounts to the account manager Heidi Rivera. Once I am done with it, I will collapse it, hit the negative, Then I need to add information for Lou. I will click here, and then I will start typing here his detail, right? And then once I'm done, I will close it. I will go to my master here. If I want to add a new account manager, that we have a new one, I will go here and I will start. First, I will add his account manager number, then his last name, first name, street, city, and then also I will add the state, postal code, and so on. Then I will click the plus sign to add his detailed information in his account table. All right. So the next thing that in your book they said is that if you want sort your table, so if you open the account table and then you want to sort this, you will click on the city, and then you see here it says sort and filter ascending and descending. So you will click ascending. Everything is being sorted, and that's ends our chapter number 3. And I hope you have learned a lot in for chapter number 3, and you need to practice. And hopefully, I'm gonna be lecturing chapter number 4 soon. You will have a video for chapter number 4 also. Have a nice day, and thank you so much for viewing this video.